What's up guys, Dylan with the Wash Nerds, and in this video we are going to be covering all things SH. So SH, in case you guys aren't familiar at all, is the king of pressure washing chemicals. It's the one that you're going to reach for about 90% of the jobs that you do. So it's really important to understand what it actually is, what surfaces you can and can't clean with it, what types of growth and stains that you can or can't clean with it, and things of that nature. We'll also touch on application methods. So how to actually apply this to the surface, as well as some other tips and tricks. I really hope you guys take something away from this video. This is definitely the video that I wish I had available to me starting out in the industry. So I'm trying to help you guys shorten up that learning curve so you can get out there and make some money. So let's jump right into it. Let's go ahead and start out with a simple definition. So what is SH? SH is sodium hypochlorite. And that's just a fancy chemical compound name, but it's also going to be the main ingredient in things like bleach and pool chlorine. So that should kind of clue you in as far as what SH will actually do for you. And SH is going to be used to clean basically anything that's growing that shouldn't be growing. So your mosses, your algae, your lichen, and your molds, all on the exterior of a customer's home or property. SH is going to be used to treat those. So if you use pressure alone, especially on things like driveways, or please don't use it on the side of a vinyl house, but it happens, it's going to grow back because it's cleaned as far as the naked eye is concerned, but it's never actually cleaned off that surface. But if we use something like SH is actually going to neutralize that growth. So you're not only cleaning it as far as visibility to the customer, but you're also cleaning it in terms of completely eliminating that growth from the surface. So your clean job will last a lot longer. And I know what you're thinking, that's bad for business, but trust me, it's good for your reputation and your relationship with the customer. Different types of surfaces and different types of growth that your customers ask you to clean are going to require different strengths of SH. So how do we define the strength of an SH compound? Well, that is by percentage. And what that percentage is referring to is the overall weight of sodium hypochlorite in that solution relative to the overall weight. So, for example, if we have a 1 gallon solution of 10% SH bleach, that tells us that 10% of the weight of that overall mix is going to be sodium hypochlorite. So that's an easy way to define strength of our solution. And that's going to be key in deciding, what application method we need for cleaning different types of surfaces, as well as it's going to help us be more efficient in the cleaning process so we're not wasting chemicals. I don't know about you guys, but this is all sounding kind of complicated. I mean, we have different strengths of SH for different types of surfaces, as well as different types of growth. So how do we put this all together into a simple to understand picture? Well, I made some flowcharts because I'm a nerd and I like flowcharts. So let's take a look at those. Here's the flowchart as promised, and we start off with the big bold question, is it alive? And this is going to be important for you beginners to quickly rule out things that SH will not work on. So things like burnout marks from car tires, oil stains, rust stains, things of that nature, things that are not alive, SH will absolutely not be effective on. So we can just skip all those, and if it is alive and it shouldn't be, then we can continue down our flowchart. So just for simplicity's sake, I broke this out into 3 subcategories: roof, flat surface, and wall. This is just to help give you guys a little bit more accurate SH percentages and kind of guide you down the right path. So let's start off by taking a look at roof, and starting with the most common, at least for the Midwest, we have asphalt shingles. So I recommend kind of between 3 and 6% SH, and you're going to want to go heavy on the surfactant with roofs. Not crazy, but a good amount of surfactant just to help your SH really cling to the roof and get a lot of time exposure to the chemical on those asphalt shingles. So 3% is going to be for things like just general black streaks. All the way up to 6% is going to be more for things like moss, lichen growth, and I'll flash some images up on the screen for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. But most roof applications you can usually get away with between 3 and 4%, because most customers just want those black streaks gone. And now we can move on to painted metal. So this is obviously going to be exactly what it sounds like, a painted metal roof. The reason you should test this ahead of time, and what I mean by that is maybe take a little either a pump sprayer or even a small spray bottle, mix up the SH percentage that you intend on using, and just test a small, inconspicuous, if possible, area. That way you know that your SH mixture isn't going to react harshly with the paint that's on the roof. Most of these products are sealed from the factory, so as long as they haven't been painted with any sort of weird Sherwin-Williams blend, you're probably going to be fine. One thing to note here is that just make sure that the roof is cooled. If it's a hot summer day, it might be worth it to go ahead and pre-soak that roof just to cool that surface temperature down. That way your SH doesn't flash, oxidize on the surface. That can kind of ruin the finish and just make a big mess for you to clean up. So 1% there is going to be for, small, light, kind of black growth. All the way up to 3% is going to be for your heavier growth. Really, you shouldn't have to go much past 1 or 2% for metal roofs, but just a guideline. Clay tile roofs. I actually do not have any experience with clay tile roofs, so I had to go hop on YouTube and do some research for you guys. And I found most consistently people recommended 4 to 6% SH. We do not have many, I don't even know if I've ever seen a clay tile roof in Indiana, but they're definitely few and far between. So clay tile requires a little bit hotter mix. And again, this is going to be similar to asphalt shingle roofs, where you kind of put in a little bit of extra surfactant to really get that dwell time on the clay tile and help clean that. And the last category is going to be kind of a double combined, and we have Galvalume and wood. So I'll flash up some images of Galvalume. It's kind of a specialty galvanized roofing material, but SH does not react well with it. You can actually completely ruin somebody's metal roof if you use SH on Galvalume, so just stay away from it, especially as a new person. Might even not hurt to no-quote these jobs at first. And same with wood, so we're talking things like cedar shake shingles. Again, you could use SH on them, but there's much better options, and I would hate to see, somebody who's newer ruin an entire cedar shake shingle roof just because they went at it with 3 to 6% SH and dried it out real bad. So again, there's better products there, which we will not cover in this video, but just do your own YouTube research. Moving on to our second type of surface, we have flat surfaces. So a lot of these times you're going to be using pressure in the form of a surface cleaner in conjunction with SH, and we'll talk about what that looks like a little bit. So for raw concrete, assuming it's not too dirty, so you just have your typical kind of black organic growth on the driveway, we usually don't pre-treat at all. We just hit it with a 3% post-treat, and that's just to help eliminate those lines from growing back and also help kind of smooth out if your surface cleaner does leave any lines, which it shouldn't. If you have the correct tips, I'll link a video down below showing you how to find the right tips for your surface cleaner, so that way you're not leaving lines everywhere. But an example of where you might use a 6% SH mixture is on a super filthy driveway, just completely coated in black, and you can't get the concrete to come clean with one pass of a surface cleaner. So this is just kind of an efficiency thing. You can spray it on, wait 10-12 minutes, and then do your normal surface cleaning, and it'll come clean a lot quicker. So I would also still recommend post-treating if you do run into something like that. That's just, again, going to help you really make sure that concrete doesn't grow back in the pattern that you surface cleaned it in. Customers won't be happy with that. Our next type is going to be painted concrete. This is similar for all painted surfaces. You're going to want to do a test spot. This is just to make sure that that SH isn't reacting with the organic pigments in the paint and discoloring it in any way. So with painted concrete, I typically like to try to do a soft wash if possible. So that's somewhere between 2 and 3% SH. You're going to let it do a little bit of dwell time. somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes, and then kind of a high pressure fan rinse. So you can still put a little bit of pressure to painted concrete, but you don't really want to go too heavy, otherwise you're going to risk flaking off a lot of that paint. So just kind of be careful there. Asphalt and blacktop, we do get calls on this sometimes from customers. Do not touch it with SH. Do not surface clean it. Just leave it alone. Leave that for the seal coating companies. And then the last type is raw pavers. So these are non-sealed pavers for paver patios. This is the most common type of landscaping stone that we run into. And if you're soft washing them, I would recommend up to a 6% mix. And that's just going to really help kill that organic growth that's sitting down in all those little cracks of the paver stones. But more commonly, we try to sell a surface clean and then resand, because you are going to blow out some of the sand in the joints when you surface clean it. And then we'll post-treat those with 3% SH. Note, if you're doing any kind of sealing, definitely make sure you wait and do a post-rinse on your SH. Obviously, you should be waiting for your pavers to dry anyways, but just make sure you're not getting any interference with the SH and the sealer. So just give that some time to mellow out. And then our last type of surface is going to be walls. So obviously we're talking about vertical surfaces, and the most common, at least here in Indiana, is vinyl siding. And this is our bread and butter. This is what we do probably 75% of the time, is just a vinyl siding house wash. And we use 1 to 2% SH. Typically, we're just running downstreaming, so we're getting 1% SH mixed with surfactant to help it cling onto the surface. About 5 minutes dwell time, and that usually melts pretty much any organic off, short of lichen growth or really heavy algae, which we'll flash some pictures of lichen up. Lichen, you do have to go a little heavier, so kind of up 2%. I've even used 3% on lichen before, but you got to be careful not to go too hot on vinyl siding, otherwise you can ruin the protective coating. And if you are using a hotter mixture, just be wary of your dwell time. You can also use a tiny bit of angle on your high pressure rinse when you're dealing with lichen on vinyl. Again, you're not putting pressure to the surface per se, but just kind of coming at an angle with a high pressure fan from a decent distance. That's just going to help loosen it off and help that slide right off. So on to painted aluminum siding and painted hardy board. These are kind of one and the same. Again, with the theme of painted surfaces, you're going to want a test spot, and then you use between 1 and 2%. Typically, this cleans up just like vinyl. We usually use downstream with a little bit of surfactant, and no problems there. Brick. So brick is going to require a little bit higher than vinyl siding. That's just because it's a porous material, and it's kind of going to soak in that growth, so you have a little bit more texture for that growth to hold on to. So brick, I like to actually pre-wet. That way you're soaking the brick and your cleaner doesn't actually soak into the porous material. And then come back and treat that with anywhere between 2 and 4%, depending on the severity of the growth. But that's really going to melt it right off the surface, and that way you won't have to rinse for hours trying to get all your soap and SH out of the brick. So that's just a little quick tip there. Wood, I say no SH, but on things like vinyl fences, I know people do use SH to great success. I just personally believe that there's better chemical options out there. Especially if you're newer, maybe shy away from using SH. There's a lot of great educational resources out there on wood. So watch some of those videos and learn the more appropriate methods. Stucco. So stucco is kind of a harder to treat surface. This is almost going to be in the neighborhood of brick, but you're going to want to treat stucco pretty hot. We usually use around 4% SH for stucco, and again with the surfactant, just to give yourself a little bit of cling time, and then rinse like you would any other surface. So natural stone is the last one, and this is just covering things like limestone, stuff stuff that fancy buildings are made out of, or like monuments. Again, these all have certain specialty chemicals, and as a beginner or just starting out in this industry, you really don't want to mess with this, especially not with SH. So do your homework on those specialty types of surfaces, but I didn't want to really touch on that with this flowchart. So that covers the entire flowchart. Like I said, this will be available for download, probably in a Google Drive link, but I'll have it down in the description below. Hopefully you guys can use this as a helpful reference. Now that we actually know the strength of SH required to clean different types of surfaces, we need to take a look at how to actually apply these different strengths of SH. So there's going to be different methods for depending on the strength that you're going to be using, and different methods are also going to come with different pros and cons as well as efficiencies. So starting off with downstreaming, this is great because it's super simple, it's easy to do. This is a great way to get started. This is probably what I would recommend to get started with in vinyl house washing. So we have what's called a downstream injector. This gets its name because it plugs into the high pressure port of your pressure washer, which is downstream of the pump. So you're not running any kind of chemical through your pump. That's always a big no-no. Do not do that. But this plugs into your pump, and then this plugs into your hose as you normally would. So you'll go hose, wand, and out to cleaning your house. But the way that these work is as water's flowing at a high velocity, it actually creates a vacuum. So that vacuum is what's going to allow mix, aka SH in this case, to flow up through this hose and out through your wand. These are great because they're inexpensive. In most cases, these are around $30. But they're limited in the fact that they can only pull so much solution through the hose relative to the water that you're also flowing through. So even if you're using something like straight 12.5% SH in a bucket that this is sitting in, you can only pull about 10% relative to the overall flow that you're getting out of your wand. So an easy ballpark way to do math on this is just take whatever's in your bucket divided by 10. And that's what is going to be used to clean your house. So this is pretty much perfect for vinyl, and that's what we use these all the time for. It's probably the quickest way, in my opinion, to do vinyl. It's quicker than a Softwash system. It's quicker than other methods. How this will actually look for you in the field is we're going to have this connected to the washer as we just talked about. And then this is going to alternate between a bucket of SH, whatever strength that you determine that you need, and water. So most commonly it's going to be between a bucket of pure SH with a little bit of soap and then water. And you can't just let this dangle out in the air instead of in fresh water for rinsing, because it's actually going to be pulling air up into the line and you'll get a lot less flow and pressure out of your wand. So that is one of the downsides of downstreaming, is you kind of have to tend to your buckets. It's kind of a pain with one person, but there's more advanced ways to do that to make it more efficient. But that's kind of beyond the scope of this video. So look out for a future video on how to make downstreaming more efficient. The second option for application is going to be X-jetting. This is the only one that I don't have hands-on experience with, but I know it's very popular with the new guys because it's so inexpensive, and it's a great way to get into things like roof cleaning and concrete pre- and post-treating. So what an X-jet is essentially a downstream injector, but all the way up at the wand. I'll pop up a picture for you guys, but this is a great way to get a little bit higher concentration of SH, because as they advertise, you can get up to a 1-to-1 pull. So that's 1 part chemical to 1 part water coming through your pressure washer. The downside is that you have to carry around the chemical with you. It has to be in close proximity to the wand in order to get that high of a pull factor. So just take that into consideration when you're talking about things like doing roofs or even pre- and post-treating concrete. You're always going to have to lug that chemical with you. Please avoid things like backpack sprayers as far as using those for a SH storage tank when X-jetting. I know it seems convenient, but I've seen a lot of pictures of people posting chemical burns from their backpack sprayer leaking. So just take that into consideration. Another type of application method is going to be a pump sprayer. So these are awesome because they're inexpensive and you can mix any ratio of SH to water that you want in these, all the way up to straight SH. So you're pretty much only limited by the percent of SH that you can source. and these are a great versatile tool. The only drawback is that they're not very efficient. So if you're trying to do a whole roof with one of these, it's going to take you forever, and it's going to end up probably losing you money as far as what you thought you could make. So just keep that in mind. Another thing I did want to note, this is actually another product besides SH in one of these. If you're going to run pump sprayers, I highly recommend just labeling all of your pump sprayers and only running one chemical in those. I'm not a chemist, so I don't know what would happen if I mixed SH with F9 bark, which is an acid for rust removal. And trust me, I don't want to find out. I don't want you guys to find out either. So just go ahead and pick up a pump sprayer for each type of chemical and don't make that mistake. Our last application method that we're going to cover in this video is going to be a Softwash system. So these vary, but the most common one out there I think is probably a 12-volt Softwash system. It's exactly what this is, and you can run any strength of mix through these. You're only limited by the strength of the mix that you can source, so if you can get 12.5% SH, you can run up to 12.5 through this. So there's two kind of mixing options with these. You can either batch mix, which means you pre-mix everything in say like a 55-gallon drum, then use this pump to pull it out and apply it, or you can use what's called a blend manifold. So you essentially have a couple different valves, one for SH, one for water, and one for soap, and you're just using that to get the right combination of chemicals. Essentially, again, mixing anything from 0% all the way up to 12.5% SH. So these are a great option. Just keep in mind that these aren't the most reliable. Definitely not as reliable as your pressure washer. So if you're going to go the 12-volt route, definitely keep that in mind and keep a spare pump like as shown here. I'll also link a video down below how to actually build one of these, including the full schematic and how to wire. That's pretty much going to wrap it up for our intro to SH video. If you guys do have any further questions, please feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. We'll get to them as quickly as possible. And the best way to support the channel, guys, if you did find value in this, is to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. So other than that, hope you guys have an awesome day. Get out there and make some money.